Hello again. Right, this week's Sunday SoundByte. I recently put this up as an info deck on LinkedIn, but I looked at it and I thought, I'll also make a good Sunday SoundByte. Slightly edited down, of course, and excuse the hair flying around because I've got a fan on beside me and it's quite warm here today. Anyway, I thought it'd make a good Sunday SoundByte, as I said. Okay. Just before I start, though, a quick explanation. Okay. Leadership archetypes are recurring patterns or models of leadership style that help identify strengths, development needs, and align leadership with organizations' current stage and challenges, enabling more effective team building and culture development. These archetypes, often based on personality trait and behaviors, serve as frameworks to understand how different leaders approach things like vision, like execution, people development, and of course, change. Right, what I'm going to do is go through my 10 different leadership characters that are more than likely to screw up your change initiative. Okay, so let's start with the ghost. They're visible when it's convenient, absent when it matters. They're sponsors in name only. They avoid tough conversations. They delegate ownership, but not authority. Then what about the dictator? Do it because I said so. They mistake control for leadership. They command, they direct, they enforce, they view challenges as dissent and not insight, and they create compliance and not commitment. Good start. Okay, now we have the rah-rah-rah cheerleader. They're all enthusiasm, but no real backbone. They talk positively, but avoid reality. They label risk-raising as negative thinking. They love slogans and dislike responsibility. They confuse morale with change readiness. Okay, next up, the bystander. Hey, it's not really my change. They're on the steering committee, in theory. They avoid decisions to protect relationships. They let problems escalate so others step in. They think neutrality equals safety. Oh my goodness. Then we have the data denier. I don't believe that. All instinct, no empirical evidence. They reject metrics if they don't fit the narrative. They skip impact analysis. We already know. They resist dashboards and feedback loops. They make decisions on anecdote and ego. Then you've got the overthinker. They're paralyzed by possibility. They need more than one workshop, one more model. They've got a fear of imperfection. They are obsessed with frameworks and overaction. They delay execution and they create complexity that nobody needs. Then you have the hero. They save the day. They break the system. They step in to fix everything personally. They centralize decisions around themselves. They disempower the organization. They love being essential more than being effective. We all know one of them, don't we? Then you've got the budget cutter. They treat change like a cost center and not an investment. They look for savings wherever they can. In the one place you shouldn't look for saving. They fund technology, but starve people. They don't like training and comms. They equate lean with effective. They're proud of underspend, and even when outcomes suffer. And you've got the visionary. got ideas all over the place, everywhere, but they deliver nowhere. They paint a really bold future, then move on to the next one. They love strategy sessions, but avoid execution reality. They start more initiatives than the organization can absorb, and they create inspiration without alignment or follow through. Next up, the controller. They turn change into a Gantt chart. They're obsessed with tasks, with milestones, with rags and trackers. They manage activity, but ignore belief, behavior, and buy-in. They think green status equals real progress and measures delivery, not commitment. That's it. What do you think? So the list of the dodgy ones, so as I said, they're dodgy. So what about the good ones? What do they look like? Okay, let me just take a very quick run through the ones that probably make a difference. So leaders who take visible personal ownership. They model the future behavior daily. They listen to dissent without punishing it. They make decisions and stand behind them. They fund change like they expect it to succeed. They present long after the launch party. They don't just support the change. They actually are the change. This is the kind of leader that you want in your organization. Believe me, they make a big difference. It's just a big pity there's not enough of them in organizations to make a difference. Okay. Thanks again for listening. Cheers.